Damo Cotter here. Today is an exciting day. Today is new bike day. So I'm heading down to, well, I'm down at V1Cyclery now. I'm gonna pop in and show you what I got. So stand by and here we are. Down the shop, let's pop in. More importantly, I'll also do coffee. There it is. New bike day. So this is the Tarmac Expert with a couple little sneaky swap overs that courtesy of Zach. If you ever need anything, head down to V1. Check the boys out, they do a great job down here, Zach and Steve. I'll get it down and try it on the scales and show you the couple of little swap overs that we did. Yeah, righto. So I've got the Di2, Ultegra Di2, threw a couple of, Zach threw a couple of specialised, just the bottle cages on there, just in the gloss black. Swapped out my S-Works bars off my BMC because I love them, and the Tarmac came with the alloy bars, the alloy 40cm bars, so I swapped out to my S-Works 42cm aero bars, which I think look pretty schmick, and the integrated Garmin mount on the front with the GoPro on the bottom. As you can see, still got plenty of spaces there as you get a bit less flexible as I get a bit older. I'm not spring chicken anymore. And the Tarmac in the Expert comes with the alloy revalves, which I'll probably look at getting rid of, to be honest. But at the time being, I think they'll be pretty. We'll see how they go as a training wheel. Yeah. I've been hanging out to buy a new bike for a while, but nothing's caught my eye, and I know this colour's not for everyone, surprisingly, but I walked in and straight away I love the colour, and I'm pretty sure only the Expert comes in this colour, which I think's pretty funky. But the reason I went the Expert is because the only difference between the Expert and the Pro was the bars, which like I said, I had already to swap out, and the Pro comes with the carbon 50mm, is that right, Zach? The Pro comes with a carbon 50mm? Yep. Yeah, so, and you can't get a Pro at the moment, so it's a moot point. Alright, let's throw it on the scales and have a look at what it weighs. So pop him up on the scales, what have we got? 8.045. So that's out of the box, like I said, a couple of cages, and also my Favero Asioma Uno power pedals as well, which I love, but probably weigh almost the equivalent of a house brick, so they're definitely not the lightest pedals around there. So and that's with the alloy bar swapped over, and obviously the Garmin mount as well. So set of wheels will probably get, I reckon, close to 400 or 500 grams off that.
7.6.
Yeah, so I might get down around a 7.5, 7.6, but for the time being, I'm happy with 8 kilos out of the box. Isn't too bad, mounted, ready to go. Awesome. There's only one thing to do.
Ride it.
Take it and ride it. Righto, so about to kit up and take the Tarmac out for its maiden voyage, but I thought just before I do, I might go over a couple of finer points about the bike, and also give you a brief insight as to why I picked this model, and I suppose what I'm hoping to get out of it. So, like I said, this is the Tarmac SL7 Expert, which shares the same frame as the Pro. They've both got the Fact10 carbon frame. Both got the Ultegra Di2 group set, which as we all know, is most people are pretty familiar with that, and it's a pretty set and forget sort of group set, pretty tried and tested now, and pretty popular. The saddle is just a specialised power saddle, has a specialised stem, and like I said, the Rival, they call them the SLX24 rim. They're a DT Swiss alloy rim, I believe, and no doubt if I'm wrong, somebody will correct me, but a DT Swiss alloy rim with a Rival hub. They're pretty heavy. I couldn't find the exact figures. I think from what I could see, they're about 1,800, 1,900 grams for the pair. So they're definitely a heavy wheel, which is a good option to be able to lighten it up. The bars, like I said, it came with a specialised oval alloy bar, which I've replaced with my S-Works Aerofly bars, which I had. Swapped them over from my old BMC. I like the bar; they're very comfortable and take a bit of that buzz out of the, bit of that road buzz out of the hands, going from alloy to carbon, which I really liked. The colour, mate, like I said, the colour's not for everyone. It's pretty funky, and I love that. Hence the reason I grabbed it. I don't like something that's everyone else has got, so I was as soon as I saw this colour, it really caught my eye, and it really pops in the sun. It's like a burgundy almost. It fades into a green and a black. So yeah, not for everyone, but for me, I love it. So it's awesome. The couple of things, and I'll swing the camera around in a second, why I like this model. So like I said, it shares the same frame as a Tarmac. The only difference between the two being the bars. The Tarmac the Expert shares the same frame as the Tarmac Pro, the Pro comes with the same S-Works bars, that basically a very similar bar that what I've swapped over. So that was, having those already, that was a bit of a moot point. And the only other difference that I can see is that the Pro comes with a 50mm carbon Rival clincher, which, you know, by all accounts, a pretty good wheel. So this was 7.5 retail. I got a little bit of a better deal on that, thanks to the boys down at V1. They were really good to me. And the Pro retails for 11.5. So there's essentially a $4,000 difference in price there, which, having the bars able to be swapped over already, gives me more than enough money to upgrade to a really good set of wheels. I'm looking at a couple of options, one being a Decadence 45mm wheel, which have a claimed weight of 1,350 grams for a rim brake, and I think about 1,400 grams for a disc brake. So I'm excited to maybe give those a go, or something of a comparable. So I should be able to trim about 400 grams off the weight, so get that down to about 7.6. What I did like, and I'll just show you here, is on the stem. So unlike some of the other bikes getting around in the model that are fully integrated, although you can see a couple of cables here that didn't particularly worry me, I think they're tucked up there quite neatly underneath. But you're not limited to what bar you can put on. You can swap out whatever bar you like, and you've got a bit more flexibility there, as opposed to some of the other models which run an proprietary sort of design, such as a Scott, for example. Lovely bike, but you've got to buy all Scott gear, and there's just some limited options. So I like that I had the flexibility to put whatever bar I wanted on, with essentially a fairly traditional stem and bar combo. Apart from that, I thought the price was pretty good, and availability at the moment, as we know, is really tough. So there's only one thing left to do, and that's to get out and take it for a ride. I'm hoping that coming off the BMC, so keep in mind I'm coming off a little bit of an older bike. So my BMC is a TMR02, which is a 2016 model. Love the bike, absolutely love it to bits, but it's an aero bike, so it's not overly compliant. It's a little bit rough, great for crits, once again fairly heavy, but as we know, this isn't the lightest thing at the moment in the setup that it is. So I'm hoping this bike will be a little bit more compliant, which the geometry and all the reviews say it should be. Also too, my BMC was slammed pretty hard in the front, which was definitely closing up my hip angle a fair bit. So I'm hoping that I've lifted the stack height up on this by about 15-20 mil. So I'm hoping that sort of relieves a bit of that closed up hip angle, and makes things a little bit more comfortable. So geometry wise, though, pretty similar actually to my old BMC. There was a couple of degrees, a couple of sort of minor differences, but overall the geometry wasn't too far off. So it's going to be interesting to see, but that's what I'm sort of hoping to get a little bit more compliance and a little bit more of a comfortable ride, and a little bit better position for me, but without losing some of those things that I love the BMC about, the stiffness and that, which by all accounts the Tarmac should have. I'm also very interested. This is the first disc brake road bike I've had, so I'll see how that goes. And a lot of people talk about the stiffness that you get from having the through axles and really stiffening up the front end in particular. So we might have a little bit of a sprint today and see if we can feel the difference there as well. And yeah, see how it goes. Righto, I'll get back to you. So just got back from took it for a quick spin, not far, just to have a look at how it felt and that sort of stuff, and just give you a bit of a first impression. Just before I forget, previously I had a K-edge mount with a Garmin bracket on the bottom, and one thing that is just going to be niggling, a little bit annoying, is that the specialized mount that comes with the stem has just got, as you can see, just a little nut on the GoPro mount. It's just a bit annoying. I can see that getting dropped, where the other K-edge, for example, had an integrated one, so you just had the bolt, didn't have to worry about catching the nut all the time. But I mean, just a little thing. How'd it feel? Felt pretty good. You know, I'm not going to harp on about the old Tegra, the Di2. Everyone knows that it sort of is smooth and all that sort of stuff. You know, shifts well, smooth, quiet, all that sort of business. One thing, so my first impression of the disc brakes, and one thing that I noticed a lot is that with that through axle, the front and the rear was really stiff laterally. So I got up and put just a little bit of power through the pedals a couple of times, and there was no lateral movement at all. Very responsive, very stiff. You could definitely feel that through that front fork and through the rear chainstays. Very much that through axle stiffened that right up. But in saying that, the bike itself, I went for a ride over a familiar stretch of road that I ride all the time, so I know how it feels on my BMC. Very compliant, nice and smooth, even with the alloy wheels, and not that that probably makes much of a difference, but very smooth ride over a little bit of the rougher road. It was very comfortable. So it's only a short ride. I've got a longer ride planned for tomorrow, so I'll see how it goes on the long ride, but very comfortable and very stiff. So like I said, when I got up, the first thing I definitely noticed was how much those through axles stiffen up that front, and the disc brakes are good. Yeah, first time ever riding on discs on the road. It was nice. They haven't experienced any of that buzzing or rubbing noise yet that a lot of people sort of get a bit frustrated with, so we'll see how that pans out. On the wheels, I said they're a heavy alloy wheel. Actually surprised me a little bit. They're a little bit slow to roll up to speed, but seemed to hold their speed not too bad. Definitely didn't feel like the wheel itself was any issue. It seemed to roll smooth, and definitely didn't. It's not a very windy day today, but didn't get moved around or anything like that with any cross breeze. It did, I noticed that as you came to any sort of incline, it did seem to wash a little bit of pace off faster than what I'm used to with my normal carbon wheel. So I dare say that if you're into any sort of hill climbing or anything like that, or into the hills, or you don't want to really lose that rolling speed, that you'd be looking at an upgrade. But I think as a training wheel and riding local clubbies and stuff like that, I think they'd be more than adequate. They seem to do the job pretty well, and they've got a 26mm, I'll double check that, but a 26mm Turbo Pro tyre, which grip wise felt pretty good. Yeah, didn't seem to have any dramas. Grip felt good, rolled alright, seemed to roll pretty well. I think they're a pretty heavy tyre, but yeah, I think for the combo and for for just local riding and maybe a bit of local racing, I think that'd be more than adequate. So yeah, first thoughts, I think bang for buck, pretty happy. I'll see how it goes on some longer rides, but I'm excited to get into a season of racing on it and start putting a few Ks through it. Righto, well, thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions or comments on it, feel free to throw them in the comments below. And yeah, if you like the video, then give it a thumbs up or whatever, and share it and subscribe to the channel. And we're hopefully going to do another one on a Scott Addict very shortly. So one of the boys has got a new Scott Addict, so we'll go and have a look at why he bought that one and see what his opinion is of that. Alright guys, thanks very much. Bye.